going to start with a tool from the box called a PMI. To use a non-verbal plus, minus, interesting, plus, minus, interesting. 3 separate pieces that we're going to look at. What I'm going to do is hand out these little work cards. As you can see already, the PMI tool is identified on the front. When you get it, have a little read of the front left-hand side because it explains a little bit more about it. I think what I'll do is, if I divide this into 2, would you please take one and pass the rest on down to your right, and then if you do the same, and then it goes across the room to your left. Okay. PMI. And then pass them to your right, and then they should come this way. And if the plan works, as it comes forward, there's some left over here. Great. How you doing? Thank you very much. Hey, good system. Well done. Nicely done. Nice one. Right, thank you very much indeed. Okay, so here we have the PMI work card, and on the left hand front there's the tool identified, the PMI. Just going to read out the function that it performs. This is what it does, okay? So pencil is used to do writing using our hand, okay? PMI, plus, minus, interesting, the deliberate examination of an idea for good, bad or interesting points. Very simple, very straightforward. Instead of immediate acceptance or rejection. Have a look now on the right hand side of the worksheet. On the front worksheet on the right hand side, it says the 3 elements are plus, which are the good things, why you like an idea, things that are good about it. So if, for example, if someone, I remember just before we were talking about things you like to eat, what's good about a bag of chips? Okay. Tasty. Okay, so we look for good things. Why would I choose, say, a cheeseburger? Because I could tell you the good things about choosing a cheeseburger. Now, then we got the minus points. Now the minus points are like the opposite. The opposite would be things that are bad about the idea, things that are not good, things we don't like. For example, why wouldn't I want to go to Amsterdam? What would be the downside of going to Amsterdam? Because there will be a downside. We just have to find it. So the tool helps us to find the downside. And then we get that third area. The third area is not a judgment of good or bad, it's just, and my thumb is not going up or down, it's going across the middle. So it's just interesting. And if you have a look on the top of that paper, it says why you would find something interesting, what you would find interesting, how it would be interesting. So I could say, for example, it would be interesting to see what would happen when I went to Amsterdam, or it would be interesting to see if they sold out of chips, what else I could buy. So it's about looking at other things. Okay, instead of just saying what you like or you don't like, you can use a PMI. When you use a PMI, you give the good points first, then the bad points. So it's not an MPI. An MPI is not a PMI. We're very good at being MPIs. We go, oh, that's not going to work, that's bad. No, we do a plus first, then we do a minus, and then we do an interesting. Okay, let's have a look at the example at the bottom right-hand side, and then all the talking that I've done will turn into talking that you're going to do, because we'll have a little go. Let's have a look at this example. All the seats should be taken out of buses. All the seats should be taken out of buses. Who thinks that's a good idea? But that was what would normally happen. We go, oh, don't know, good idea, bad idea. Let's look at what happens when we use a PMI. Have a look at the page, right-hand side. More people could get into the bus. Probably increase the profitability of the bus company. Instead of 40 people on a bus, we could get 70 people on a bus. Don't forget, only the plus points. It would be easier to get in and out. Why? Because we just walk in and out. It'd be like walking onto an off of a platform. We just walk on the bus. Buses would be cheaper to make because there would be no seats. And easier to keep clean, repair. Even while I'm doing this, I'm thinking of more good things. Because you could just sweep them out at the end of the day. No seats, much more space. Maybe people wouldn't drop litter anymore because they would take it with them. Because they would be standing up, not sitting down eating sweets. And of course, leaving your bag on the bus, easy to do. I left my scarf at Central Railway Station in Belfast last night. Why? Because I was sitting down and it fell on the floor under the seat. Luckily, the person I was with picked it up and took it away with them because I'd left. But the point is, maybe on a bus with no seats, you wouldn't leave bags anymore. So it could be a lot of advantages. Now let's look at the minus points. I'm now switching my thinking from plus to minus. Passengers would fall over if the bus stopped suddenly. Health and safety. People would topple over, you'd bump into people. Old people and disabled people would not be able to use the buses. It would be difficult for them. They wouldn't be able to stand. My mother is 88 years of age, and she would find it very difficult to stand on a moving bus. So it's a minus point. It's a difficulty. It's a downside. That's all it is. Let's look at the last one on M. It would be difficult to carry shopping bags or babies. So we wouldn't have nowhere to rest them. Okay, minus points. Now, third area. What's the signal for the third area, please? Looks like that. Yeah. Not good or bad. It's not judgmental. Let's look at the interesting points. Interesting idea that could lead to two types of buses. One with and without seats. Interesting, isn't it? Michael O'Leary, Ryanair, he's suggesting semi-seats where you perch and you have a seat belt, but it's cheaper than sitting in a full seat. So it could be that buses have little lean-tos where you just sit on a little perch, okay? Notice it's not good or bad, it's just a suggestion. Here's one more. Interesting idea that the same bus would do more work. Back to my profitability. Maybe buses could be converted at busy times so the seats would fold up. Where did that come from? It came from interesting. Maybe the seat could be made to flip up so that we didn't need it at busy times. We would just have, if I'm going for one stop, so just from one part of town to the other, I don't need to sit down. Third piece, bottom, right at the bottom, right hand side. Interesting idea that comfort may not be so important in the bus. Interesting that maybe there will be a cheap bus where there wouldn't be seats. Back to Ryanair again. You just want a very simple fare, €1, and that's it, flat fare. Okay, so that's the tool explained. You've heard it. I've done that for the camera. I've explained a little bit more about the background to the tool. Now, if you turn over, please, on the back sheet, we've got two very simple things to do. The first thing is we're going to have a practice. This is where I've warned already, I'd like you to work in little bundles of 3 or 4. So 3s, nicely, 4s, okay. Have a look on the top left of the worksheet and you'll notice that it says practice items. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of these practice items and I'll read a couple of them out for good order. By law, all cars should be painted bright yellow. That's an example. Number 2, people should wear badges showing whether they are in a good mood or a bad mood, and so forth. And we've got 6. We've got 6 to choose from. What I'd like you to do, please, is in your groups, I'd like you to pick one of those. Now, I'm going to ask you another small favour before we start, and that is, would you help me by working to some very simple time windows? Time windows are what I call the opportunity to think. Let me show you a time window, okay? I want you to think of as many good things to eat in the next 5 seconds. Ready? Just think. Go. Good things to eat. Here's one. That was a time window. That was a demonstration. That's a time window. So, the first part of this exercise is, for 1 minute, in your groups of 4, 4, 3, 3 and 3, would you please look at those 6 and I'd like you to pick one of those items that we're going to think about in the groups. So each group can choose a different one. Now, let me just reset my timer. So we've got 1 minute. You are allowed to discuss this. I don't want to pick one that you don't like or the one you feel difficult. But as a group of 4, would you please now just choose one? You have 1 minute to make that choice. Your time starts now. 1 minute to make the choice. Okay, time window is closing. We've had our minute of thinking time. That minute is just to make a choice. So, I'll just go around the room very briefly. Which one of the 6 have you chosen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6? Number 6. I'll just read number 6 so everybody understands it. Do a PMI on the system which allows a lawyer to sue on behalf of a client and then take a percentage of the damages awarded by the courts. If the lawyer does not win the case, then he charges no fee. That was number 6 you chose. Okay. Did anyone do number 5? Okay. Anyone do number 4? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's read number 4. Every adult should spend 1 week a year in the police force. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyone do number 3? Number 2. Oh, now let's read number 2 for you. People should wear badges showing whether they're in a good or a bad mood. Okay, thank you. And now, what about number 1? Okay, number 1. Did you make a choice? Number 6 as well. Okay, thank you. So let's just read number 1. By law, all cars should be painted bright yellow. Right. Thank you very much. Let's now use the tool with no more explanation from me. You guys are doing the work now, not me. My timer, my window. First of all then, for the first 2 minutes, we'll look at all the plus points of the one that you've chosen. So for the first 2 minutes, it's think about all the good things. Now here's an interesting point. Sometimes you feel negative about something. The rule of the game is, in plus, we all think plus. Doesn't matter at all what you think next. It's plus points. If you can't think of a plus point, don't say anything. But try, work on it. If you can't, don't worry. It's no big deal. So, for 2 minutes please. Now, at this stage, don't need to write anything, but if someone in the group can have a feel for what's being said in the plus points, okay, and then we'll talk about that at the end of the 2 minutes. Okay, are you ready then? For 2 minutes, the window is going to open for your chosen topic, guys. Would you now please spend the next 2 minutes thinking of all the good things, the plus points. Time starts now. Thank you, everybody. The thinking window is now closing. Thank you very much indeed. So, that was just plus points. We're using a bit of the brain that is good at looking for the good. That's all we're doing. We're just pointing our brain in the general direction of things that are good. Now, let's just do a quick sample. We're not going to go into great detail here because it's only a little practice session, but let's just go around the room and see. I'll ask each group, what were you thinking about? And then I'll ask the second question, what was one important plus point? Okay, that's the question. Are you ready? What were you thinking about?
First.
And what was that again, please?
Okay, so painted yellow.
Painted yellow. What do you think is a good plus point, a strong plus point?
Cheap for car, like manufacturers, because they one colour.
Thank you very much. Cheaper for manufacturing. Look, we're in difficult times, you know, so this is real. This is not Mr. Newman just talking about something up there in the clouds. This is very real. Maybe this could save an industry because it will be cheaper. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, what were you thinking about? Same thing? Could you give us a different plus point, please? A good, strong plus point.
Easy to swap.
Easy to swap, okay? Because they're all the same colour, okay? Just the brand is different, but we can swap because the colour's the same, okay? Thank you very much indeed. Bear in mind, this is very real. Let's go to the group at the back. What were you thinking about, please? Okay, so this is the badge that says whether you're in a good or bad mood, okay? Big strong plus point, please.
People won't be as hard on people when they know they're in a bad mood.
Okay? So you want to say, oh, be easy on him, he's in a bad mood, and leave him, you know, give him some space. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Might help marriages, Mr. Newman.
It just might, you never know. See, already Mr. Doran's brain has been tweaked to think positively. He can see a value. Thank you. Okay, what were you thinking about? Number 6, wasn't it? Would you just remind us what that one is, please?
Do a PMI on the system which allows the layer to sue on behalf of the claim and then pay the percentage of the amount or the court. If the lawyer does not win the case, then he charges no fee.
Okay, so this is the like no win, no fee. This is the lawyer takes a percentage. Okay, big strong plus point about the lawyer taking this percentage.
Lawyers work harder, so they get paid.
Thank you. Incentive. Lawyers work harder. Good strong point. Okay. Maybe this is the best way. Maybe this is a good idea. This could be useful. The plus point picks that up. Nice one. Thank you. What were you thinking about?
Every adult should spend 1 week a year in the police force.
Ah, yes. This is there. An adult has this. Right. Okay. Big strong plus point, please.
Public would have more respect for the police force because they have to do it for a year.
You'd learn more respect. You'd learn what it's really like to have to be in the police force. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Good strong plus point. What was your topic, please?
Number 6.
Number 6, back to the lawyer taking a percentage. You don't need to read it, we've just been reminded, okay? Big strong plus point that's different to their plus point.
Encourage like a better relationship between the client and the lawyer. Because if the lawyer's going to will work for free, maybe the client will respect the lawyer more.
Okay, big strong plus point. Maybe it would improve the relationship. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Now, we've used a bit of the brain that is really easy because if we like something, it's really easy to find good things. Now we're going to switch. Whether we like it or not, we now have to think the things that are not so good about this topic. So staying with the same subject, this practice item, switch the brain into the minus mode. Where are the difficulties? Where are the downsides? We're going to use the same thinking window, 2 minutes, same little timer. So in your group, please, you're free to talk. Would you now please open the thinking window for 2 minutes and think of all the bad things, the not such good things, okay? Time starts now.